Kinsman of the Massachusetts Right to Repair Coalition, and it is our sincere hope that at the end of this hearing today, this committee will have as clear an idea as possible about who is telling the truth about right to repair. And I'm going to give you a little bit of try to frame this as to who you're going to be hearing from. You're going to be hearing first from some real consumers who can tell you firsthand accounts of how their choice as consumers was taken away from them, their choice as car owners. And these people are just a small sample of the 106,000 people who enthusiastically, in just 19 days, signed the Right to Repair Initiative petition. They're just some of the people, of the 50,000 people who have written letters to the State House in support of this bill. And just, even in today's online age, we've got almost 12,000 people on our Facebook page who are actively engaged in discussing this. I want to point out that consistently, scientifically valid polling shows that anywhere from 83 to 87% of the public, again, supports this bill. Why is that? It's because consumers, what we found from talking to thousands of them across the state, they want choice and fairness. Sure, we've heard, as a spokesman for Right to Repair, I've heard from car dealers. They tell me, well, they paid a lot of money to build their franchises. They've got their big showrooms, they've got their leather couches, they've got their fruit bowls, their K-cup coffee. That's great, and no one's trying to hurt dealers. However, they also tell me they shouldn't have to share the information. They admit they don't share it, and they're unapologetic about it. They feel that they are entitled to the customer because of that steep investment they've made in building a nice dealership. What they don't factor in is that customer is paid $20, $30, $40, sometimes $50,000 for a brand new vehicle. They paid for it, and they have the reasonable expectation they're going to be able to get it fixed where they want. The only control a consumer really has over anything in this world, in this economy, is the ability to shop around for the best price. And that's should be based on good service and good prices, not on who controls repair codes. Choice, fairness, that is what this is all about. We've heard from car manufacturers consistently. They say, oh, all the information is out there, but some of it's a secret. And then we've got dealers who say they don't want to share it. I mean, lots of mutually exclusive positions. I mean, I'd like to have you remember last year's testimony by Aaron Smith, son of the former Pontiac dealer, Ricky Smith of Weymouth. He testified before this very committee last year. When he was a franchise dealer, he got all the information. Now that he's stripped of the franchise tag, he doesn't get all the information. And we really need to get past this basic fact that not all the information is available for purchase. What do we want? In the Right to Repair Coalition, we want to be able to purchase dealer quality repair and diagnostic information. That is it. That's the end of the story. With me today are consumers who've had a firsthand experience, who've been sent from independent repairers they know and trust to a dealer they don't know, and where studies show what we know intuitively, that they pay on average 40% more at a dealer. And again, I'd like to is the word of a former dealer enough to make you believe? You will also hear from two of the most trusted voices in automotive advice in New England, John Paul, AAA's car doctor, and Car Talk's Ray Magliozzi. For more than 25 years, John Paul has been above reproach, representing motorists all across the state and in the region. And they really have nothing to gain in supporting this bill other than to maintain their credibility as a fair and reasonable advocate for the motoring public. John Paul, the venerable Ray Magliozzi of Click and Clack fame, is their support enough to make you believe? Our opponents insult our independent repairers, saying they aren't well trained enough. That's why they can't complete repairs in some cases. Today, you're just going to hear from a small sampling of who's on this sign. 2,000 of the 5,700 independent repairers across the state that can be counted on as strong right to repair supporters. I'd like you listening today to gentlemen like repairers, qualified repairers like Scott Sanford, Glenn Wilder, Stan Morin, just to name a few. Tell them they don't know their business. Tell Sullivan Tire with 1,000 employees, more than 30 locations across the state. a great reputation. Tell them they aren't well trained enough to know what they're talking about. Is the testimony of these people who represent American Car Care Centers, Meineke, Midas, New England Tire Dealers, Valvoline, the list goes on, of members of our coalition. Is the support of these respected names in independent auto repair enough to make you believe? All they want, again, is dealer quality information. What I would ask is it's time to believe what you hear. It's not time to accept arguments from car manufacturers that this can't be done. We need more time. We're proposing an obsolete technology. It's a technology that can't be done in 3 years. It can't be done. We know they're doing it right now with their dealers. It can be done. You're going to hear an expert and a manufacturer of the J2534 common interface. What is that? It's very simple. It's just a bridge between a car and a laptop to deliver information. He's going to testify to the fact that he sells this interface, and many manufacturers use this, and many more are moving towards this method of information delivery. It can't be done, they say, but they are using it right now, and it's cutting-edge technology. Some of our repairers can testify to the fact they use it now, and it just works. So please ask the manufacturers why it can't be done when it is being done. After hearing our expert testimony, we hope you'll agree that anyone who says the legislation hangs its hat on outdated technology or requires some crazy redesign of motor vehicles simply doesn't know what they're talking about or is trying to confuse or scare you and the public. Remember, big car manufacturers resisted airbags, seatbelts, center-mounted stop lamps, even lower CAFE standards. There's a history of this. Now they're selling these features because consumers want them, not because they wanted to give it to people. You also hear from a couple legal intellectual property experts who are going to explain to you why dealer quality information we're seeking is in no way, shape, or form a trade secret. It's also worth noting that many municipalities have reached out to us recently and said that they are experiencing the same problem in getting information, and this is affecting their bottom line and their town budgets. That they're having to send town vehicles back to the dealer, and that's of concern. So what I'd ask you today is to start believing the truth. Big car manufacturers just don't want to do this, plain and simple. And what I've experienced is they will literally say anything, contradict any fact right in front of us, if it's going to serve to create fear and confusion about right to repair. It's kind of interesting to be the spokesman for this issue because on a daily basis I never know what the other side's going to say. But unlike the rotating, sometimes contradictory, and mutually exclusive arguments, if you think about them, of the car manufacturers, the message of our coalition has been consistent and unwavering. And I give a lot of credit to the people in this room. I'd like you to, if you're in support of this bill, I'd like you to raise your hand, please. Thank you. These are people who've taken time away from their small businesses, from their customers, at least, 5 times now, to come in and testify before this committee with the same exact message. Please help us, please help our customers. We just want to be able to buy dealer quality information, repair and diagnostic information, and right now they can't always do that. Massachusetts Right to Repair Coalition has always maintained that this is an issue that should be decided by you, the legislature. We agree with the representative who just testified. We would far prefer this matter not have to go before voters in the fall. We would like the legislature to act on this. We believe it's a good vote for the legislature, and Massachusetts can lead the way. You can protect the 32,000 jobs, again, some of whom are in this room right now. You can validate the wishes of 100,000 people who signed the petition and the 87% of the motoring public who supports this bill. The ability of the aftermarket to buy dealer quality information will create a level playing field between dealers and independent repairers, and the result will be that consumers have a true choice in where they get their cars repaired. And it's very simple. When you have choices, you have competition, whereas this competition, and your constituents will save money. Thank you.